Alright, step one is either jack up the front end or put it on ramps. I have Rhino ramps, and there's like hardly any clearance, so. Okay, so I chose to put my jack here. Here's the cat. I need room for a jack stand, so I'm gonna take this thing out with my trim removal tool that I got from Harbor Freight. Alright, so going on this other side here, I've got the jack stand on the first side. So if you want to remove the trim clips, there's one here, there's one here in the wheel well, another one in the wheel well, the third one in the wheel well, and there's one more up here. It's really hard to see, but basically anywhere you see something that looks like this, just follow this trim piece and take them all out, and then you can remove the whole trim piece like I did over there. So the cat's right there, there's this rail here. I jacked it up on the rail, left enough room here for the jack stand to get in and sit closer to the front. I always leave my jack propped up next to the jack stand, just so I have two forms of safety. So I did the same thing on the other side. So let's go under the car now. The drain for the transmission is in pretty much exactly the middle of the car. So, yeah, you want to look for this. You want to look for this transmission cross member and this merge of the pipes. Up here's the drive shaft, and oh my god, there's like no room. Here you will find the drain bolt. It's got that square. It's got that square look, and you can make out a little bit of what was that, Loctite? Okay, ratchet is on the drain bolt. My god, this is hard. As Chris Fix, do it. Drain pan is underneath. Like I said, it's going to go all over that cross member, but there's nothing we can do about it. Okay, so the transmission cross member kind of just catches the fluid and then lets it leak through into the drain pan. So position your drain pan like right underneath that. All right, went to the local Aldi's and got some groceries and came back, and it appears the trans is done draining. Put the drain bolt back in, and then we will continue, and then we'll get to the pain in the ass part, which is filling. So I forgot to mention, you want to hand tighten the drain bolt back in. There might be a torque spec for it, but I just make it good and tight with the 3/8 ratchet. Nice and snug, but don't, like, you know, put it in too tight and mess up the head or make it hard to get out next time. So the cheap fluid pump from Advanced Auto Parts.
I'll post a link to it in the description below.
Yeah, so you're gonna need this because the fill plug is high up and there's no way you can pour fluid into it. It's at an angle and it's high up. So essentially you have to stick the tube in and you have to pump the fluid from the bottle into the transmission. So I'm gonna figure this out. But yeah, make sure you have one of these, and then also make sure you have your trans fluid. I use Royal Purple Max ATF. And yes, the manual does take automatic transmission fluid. That's a thing.
Alternatively, you can use what the manual specifies, which is Chrysler ATF plus 4. I'll link it in the description.
Okay, so now we have to slide under the front of the car, grab our 3/8 ratchet again, because we'll need that. Slide under the car, transmission cooler lines. So the fill plug is closer to the front of the car. Here's the cross member that just had all that fluid drain on it. Take a 3/8 ratchet, it's a square hole, and you open that up. So let's open that up and take it out. Alright, with the fill plug out, we then want to get our pump, our bottle with our pump in it from over there. Alright, so hopefully you jack the car up enough to give yourself room to set the bottle down. Stick the hose up in the hole. Just kind of stick it as far in there as you can, I guess. Don't really matter. And then start pumping. And you just do this until this hole starts overflowing. I think it's about 4 quarts.
Now,
Alright, make sure that hose is firmly in there. And then you'll be here for a few days pumping fluid upwards against gravity from a bottle into a transmission. But just keep going and make sure you have some kind of thing to catch fluid that grips. Pause. Alright. The trans is leaking out the top. Gentle trickle. So, grab the fill plug, put that bad boy back in, hand tighten it with the 3/8 ratchet, and we're done.